Imagine a school where one teacher thinks she's untouchable, where her words cut deeper than any textbook lesson she's ever taught. But what if her victim was hiding a secret so powerful, it could change everything? Today, we uncover a story of arrogance, prejudice, and the shocking twist that nobody saw coming. Mrs. White, a seasoned teacher with 15 years under her belt, strutted into her 10th grade history class like she owned the school. She was known for her sharp tongue and an uncanny ability to make certain students feel less than. But today, her eyes landed on a quiet girl in the back row, Aisha. Aisha was new, shy, and, to Mrs. White's disdain, black.
All right, class, let's discuss the Civil War. Aisha, since you're sitting there like a statue, why don't you tell us which side won and why?
Aisha hesitated. She had just transferred schools and hadn't even covered the topic yet. But Mrs. White didn't care about that.
Don't they teach history where you're from, dear? Or were you too busy? Never mind. Just sit down.
This wasn't the first time Mrs. White singled Aisha out. In fact, it seemed like every day brought a new way for her to belittle the girl. From subtle digs to outright humiliation, Mrs. White made sure Aisha felt out of place.
Did you even do your homework, or was it too difficult? Oh, I'm sure that accent of yours would make reading Shakespeare interesting.
And the other students? They either laughed nervously or looked away, afraid they'd be the next target. At lunch hour, Aisha is sitting alone at a table. A classmate, Mia, approaches her.
Hey, can I sit here?
Aisha nods, grateful for the company.
Listen, I see how Mrs. White treats you. It's not right. She's been like this for years. Someone needs to stand up to her.
Mia's words offered a glimmer of hope. But Aisha wasn't sure if she could fight back. After all, Mrs. White seemed untouchable. One day, during a class presentation, Mrs. White crossed the line. Aisha was presenting a project on African history, a topic she was deeply passionate about. But before she could even finish her first slide, Mrs. White interrupts, rolling her eyes.
All right, we get it. You're proud of your heritage. But maybe next time, pick a topic that's more relatable to the rest of us.
The class falls silent. Aisha's eyes well up with tears, but she keeps going. Her hands shook as she clicked to the next slide, determined not to let Mrs. White's words break her. But inside, Aisha knew something had to change. That evening, Aisha finally told her parents everything. Her father listened quietly, his face growing darker with every word. Then, he smiled.
Don't worry, sweetheart. I'll handle this.
Aisha wasn't sure what he meant, but for the first time in weeks, she felt a weight lift off her shoulders. The next morning, Mrs. White's world began to unravel. It started with a knock on the classroom door. The principal, Mr. Davis, stepped inside, his expression unreadable. What was said in that hallway remained a mystery to the class. But when Mrs. White returned, her face was pale, her hands trembling. For the rest of the period, she barely spoke. Days passed, and Mrs. White's behavior toward Aisha changed, drastically. She was suddenly polite, almost deferential. The other students noticed too, but no one could figure out why. It wasn't until the end-of-year assembly that the truth came out. The principal took the stage to announce a new initiative against discrimination and bullying. And then he introduced his family. Mrs. White's face turned ghostly white as she realized. Aisha was the principal's daughter. The very person she had been targeting was more connected than she could have ever imagined. Mrs. White's tenure at the school ended soon after. And Aisha? She thrived, knowing she had the support of her family and a lesson she'd carry forever. Sometimes, the best revenge is simply revealing the truth. So, what do you think? Did Mrs. White get what she deserved? And what would you have done if you were in Aisha's shoes? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories like this one.